Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam Robbins, and today's topic is about premature ejaculation and what causes it, and how can you prevent it, and how can you basically last longer. And I'll get into all the details about this, but I will share a personal story with you. Basically, it was like the first or maybe second time. I think it was like first time I had sex. It's such a long time ago because I'm an old man, and she was like a really attractive girl, and she was older than me and all that. And we went back to her place, and I wasn't expecting to have sex. I was just happy to go out on a date. And then one thing led to another, and I was laying down, and she started, doing stuff with her hand to me. And at this time, I know I was like overthinking it, all right? So I wasn't like even erect, fully erect. I was like half erect, half not. I'm thinking about everything. I'm getting a little anxious. And I swear to you, it must have been like a minute or two, half erect, and it shot, it exploded. I had an orgasm. And on top of it, it hit me in the face because I was laying down, and it hit me in the eye, actually. So I remember, and I like all these negative emotions came to me. Instead of being like, oh, awesome, something happened, I was like anxious. I was sad because first of all, it hit me in the eyes, and I got this like I'm tearing in the eye, and the look of disappointment. I still remember it. And then she said something to the fact that she's like, oh, wow, is that normal? I didn't know what she meant by normal, like not limp. Did I come too quick? Did I go in the eye? I don't even think she hit me in the eye, that it hit me in the eye and I was tearing up. Maybe she said I was tearing up for the wrong reasons. I don't know. But I just got up, I went to the bathroom, and it was very traumatic at that point. And I vowed to never again have, come so quick. And literally at that time, this was, before the internet, I like did everything I could to learn how to quote unquote last longer and never do that again, because it was so traumatizing for me. First time, it's such a bad experience. So if it's happened to you, regardless of your age, whether you're young or you're old, it happens to most guys. But the problem is if it keeps happening, over and over again, year after year, that then becomes a problem, because obviously it's not good for you and your confidence. You start overthinking it. The anxiousness causes more problems, and then it's obviously not satisfying, for her. And you start thinking, God, is she like embarrassed? Is she going to talk to her friend? Oh, he's a minute man, and all this stuff. And in fact, I remember years ago, after that, I was having sex with a girl, and because again, I last longer now. I can easily last 30 minutes or longer. I've developed that talent. But I remember this girl once said, oh, my ex-husband, he was like a minute man. I was like so unsatisfied or dissatisfied. And it brought me back to that moment where I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person again. So I'm sharing all this with you, letting you know that you're not alone. And I'm going to tell you all the things that I've done that have improved my ability to last longer. So first of all, there are different causes. First of all, let's talk about the psychological cause. All right. If you're very like me, it was new to sex. So everything new, is like awesome. After years of sex, even masturbation, even porn is not like as cool as it once was. And there's reasons for this. Dopamine is one of them. And your brain is like, oh, here again, this again. So you can last longer. So if you're new to it, obviously that's one thing. So again, it's part of it. The other problem is if you haven't had sex in a while, right? Just imagine you like get out of prison and you have sex for the first time. You're not going to last that long. You're going to be like, boom, you're ready to go because it's new and it's been so long. So, and by the way, that time when I did come, remember earlier, I hadn't masturbated also for like at least like a week, and that's a long time when you're a kid. And so keep that in mind, so I'll talk about different ways to get around that, and I talk about masturbation and all that stuff. And again, everything I'm telling you guys, I've done it myself, how I can last longer, all the different chemicals and drugs and different things I've done. So again, you're not alone, and all these things I've told other guys, they've done it, and trust me, they're lasting so much longer. Masturbation. When you masturbate, another reason men come early is because psychological reasons, is because when you're younger, guys don't want to get caught. And so you want to just peel it off real quick so you don't get caught. So little by little, we create this habit of not lasting very long, right? Where there's this urgency. So you don't want to get caught, you don't want to do this, and so that's another thing that causes it. Now, there's also hormonal causes. Having low testosterone is a factor, believe it or not. Having high testosterone, you might get more excited, but a lot of times guys are who have premature ejaculation also have harder time getting and maintaining an erection. So that's a double whammy, like what happened to me. Things like thyroid being hypo or hyperthyroid, prolactin levels. Prolactin is a hormone that controls. It's for women. Prolactin goes up when women give milk. And when prolactin levels are up, your libido is down, but also your refractory period, being able to have multiple orgasms, goes a lot longer. So you can, when you're younger, prolactin is lower, and you can have orgasms multiple times, quicker and sooner or faster. When you get older, you don't. There's also neurotransmitter imbalances, such as dopamine and serotonin, and I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Okay, so we'll talk about solutions now. Let's first start with the drug solutions, and this will lead how you can not take the drugs. You can take natural methods. You can take, for example, antidepressants, SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitors. You probably heard of them, like Prozac is a popular one, Zoloft, Paxil, Lexapro. Now, these drugs, by increasing serotonin, whether it increases it or it prevents it from degrading as soon, does increase your ability to last longer. That's a cool part. The big negative is, for many people, women and men, it completely decreases your sex drive. And for men, increasing your sex drive is one thing. It also then thus causes your inability to get an erection. So that's another problem with that. In fact, I remember watching a TV show called Sex and the City with my girlfriend a long time ago. And there's a whole episode about this. And the guy just couldn't get an erection and didn't care because he was on Prozac. If you want to take SSRIs, like Prozac or something, for whatever reason, if you're getting desperate, what you can do is, now some doctors will combine that with a PDE5 inhibitor, such as Cialis or Viagra. So now the problem of you can now last longer with the SSRIs like Prozac, but then you can't get an erection. So by taking Viagra, you can now get that erection, and by taking SSRI, you can actually last longer. So you got that awesome thing. But now you're taking like two different drugs. There are potential side effects. Obviously, with that, taking an SSRI is not, it's not an easy fix to this problem. It's going to cause a lot of other problems. Suicide thoughts are one of them, despite it making you happy. So and getting off an SSRI is really, really difficult. Taking Viagra, here's the other problem. When you take an SSRI such as Prozac, it takes at least 2 or 3 weeks to really kick in, while Viagra or Cialis takes, hours. So you have to now, you got to be on SSRIs all the time in order for that to work, if your goal is to last longer, to get that benefit. So again, I'll talk about that in a little bit, a natural way to increase serotonin so you can last longer without having to take such drugs such as Prozac and SSRIs. Okay, now let's talk about supplements and how that relates to SSRIs. For example, you can take supplements that increase serotonin, such as 5-HTP. You can take that like maybe 50 milligrams 3 times a day, or 25 to 50 milligrams 2 or 3 times a day. That will increase your serotonin levels. So that's a good benefit of that naturally. And, it's in and out of your system, in a few hours. The other benefit is, again, you're not going to get all the negatives of taking like an SSRI, Prozac. So taking 5-HTP really works. And also taking GABA. GABA is a relaxant. Sometimes guys have premature ejaculations because of anxiousness, all right? So you want to relax. Being able to relax allows you to last longer. So taking something like GABA also helps with the 5-HTP. Other things that you can take is, again, you want to reduce your worry and anxiety because that causes problems. You can try other ingredients that also help, again, relax your body, calm things down so you can last longer. Things like L-theanine, passion flower, valerian root, St. John's wort, and a few of these other ones. Now, I actually, I've had anxiety for a lot of my life, maybe because I put a lot of pressure on myself, school and work and all this stuff. I'm always like worried, what if this doesn't go well? I've got employees and all that. I want to make sure everyone's happy and supporting my family and all that. So years ago, I started using a product called ProVanax. I'll put the link to that product underneath this video. And that has the 5-HTP, it has the GABA, it has the L-theanine and the passion flower and all that stuff. It allows me to just stay calm and relax, when I get anxious. I also mainly take it at night to help me just calm down after a hard day so I can just relax and fall asleep rather than have my brain going and overthinking things. And I've been taking that for 20 plus years. And I think that also, I know that also has been one major factor that I can last longer these days. Yes, it's willpower. Yes, I've tried all the things I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But by improving my neurotransmitters, right, I can last longer. And I've been taking that forever. I know that has a big factor. So again, if you want to give it a try, again, it's natural. It doesn't cause all the side effects with these guys. And the other benefit is not only can you last longer, your mood is going to be better. You're going to be happier, more relaxed, more confident. Again, it helps balance these neurotransmitters that some people just are unbalanced naturally. So you need that help. So again, link to ProVanax below. Now, there's also lifestyle factors, as I mentioned before. For example, remember I said masturbation? That one time when the girl happened, I had masturbated for like a week. So my body was like hypersensitive. So the minute I got touched, I'm like, woohoo! And it's something new and different and all that. So if you have a problem or, this issue with premature ejaculation, my solution is, for example, to masturbate before sex. Now, I'm not saying if you're going to, for example, have sex at 8 p.m., go masturbate at 7 p.m., okay? Because you may not be able to get it up again. Again, that refractory period, the prolactin issue that I mentioned earlier. So you might want to, for me, for example, if I was going to have sex on a Friday night, I would definitely masturbate Thursday, right? Because I got it out of my system, so I wasn't going to be as anxious. But yet it gave me enough time to be able to do it, or maybe on a Wednesday, So you have to think about that. You have to see how it works for you, but definitely masturbating before is important. It's like if you're not masturbating at all and you're only having sex with your girlfriend or wife or whatever, like once every 2 weeks or a month, trust me, there's like a buildup. And the minute you touch the guy, it's going to explode. So you have to keep that guy, we're more relaxed by masturbating. Another thing is you want to reduce the sensitivity. Again, masturbation does that, but also wearing a condom. Wearing a condom definitely reduces that sensitivity, so you can definitely last longer. For some guys, or a lot of guys, when they wear condoms, they're like, I can't even get it up, right? They can't even get an erection. So that's one problem. If that's the case, I totally get it, but you can start learning to masturbate with a condom on, okay? And that will teach your penis and hand, like, hey, I'm not like suffocating by putting a condom on, and your body starts to adjust to it and starts to become familiar with it. So when you masturbate, you start practicing and doing reps and all that stuff. As you condition your brain and your penis to, hey, put on a condom, it's cool. Don't get all weird about it. Then when it's time to have sex, you put on a condom. Your body's not going to be like, oh no, trying to put a condom and it goes limp. Because now you've conditioned it and you've taught your penis, hey, condoms are okay. I'm totally used to it. I masturbate with it all the time. It's okay. Let's just put it on. Let's have sex. And now there's that thin layer of protection, obviously for transmitted diseases and pregnancy and all that. But for as far as your erection, there's that layer that will desensitize the penis. And speaking of desensitization, you can put like numbing creams or sprays. That also reduces the sensitivity to the penis. The problem is with that, sometimes you don't know how quickly it'll work. So you have to practice on your own, masturbating and seeing all that stuff. And also, for some people, it numbs the area too much, okay? But if you're going to use those creams or sprays, you got to do the whole shaft and the head. Remember, the head is the most sensitive part. So you have to look to see what works. I've never tried it. There's a little bit of lidocaine in there. But again, just keep that in mind. Sometimes there's this balance of sensitivity and then being able to get an erection and to last longer. I guess if you want to take Viagra and so forth, you can take that. Again, something to consider. A big factor, guys, when it comes to having sex is it's not about you. It's about her. It's about your partner. So make sure that when you are having sex, you want to last longer, focus on her. Let's be honest with you. If you gave her multiple orgasms, through your finger, orally, whatever it is, with toys, and she had, like, let's say 2-3 orgasms, by the time it's your time, even if you lasted 2 minutes, she's like, I'm fine. Hey, this guy took care of me. It's okay. The other thing you can do is, like, take care of her, and then you can then, have intercourse, and then maybe you're like, uh-oh, I'm about to come. You pull back, you take it out. What you do is you can grab the tip of your penis and then just hold it tightly, and that'll, like, prevent the orgasm, prevent the buildup, and then you go back to her, focus on her, oral, finger, kissing her, massaging her, do all that. Once you've relaxed a little bit more, then you go again. So it's like you can last like 1 or 2 minutes, take care of her. 1 or 2 minutes, take care of her. 1 or 2 minutes. Next, you ended up lasting like 8 or 10 minutes. So that's the cool thing. Again, the focus is take care of her, and she won't be like, ugh, was that it? 2 minutes into it, and then, like, she's nothing. The other thing is, if you do have an orgasm and it's too quick, it's fine, no big deal. Again, you still have to focus on her. You got to make sure that you take care of her. That's your number one goal. Yours is easy to take care of, okay? She can do whatever, head, hand, intercourse. If you're only going to last 1 or 2, 3 minutes, and she's going to be like, hey, good. I don't have to do all that extra work for him, and yet he still took care of me. So it's a win-win situation. But that's another thing to take care of. Her, you, her, you, her, you, her, you. Once she's all fully done, you're like, all right, now I can go. You already gave her like 6-7 minutes before, on and off, and then you can take care of her, and you can then take care of yourself. Now, another thing you can do is the most powerful sex organ in the body, as I say, it's the brain. It's your thoughts, okay? Sometimes you have a fetish or whatever, you can get totally turned on and boom, you can have an orgasm real quick. The other thing you can do is if you think you're about to have an orgasm, and I mentioned all the different things, you can then focus on something else, all right? A non-sexual thought. Focus on work, focus on, business, focus on a meal you had, focus on your dog or your pet, whatever it is, something that's totally non-sexual for your brain to be like, huh? Don't focus on, oh my God, this feels so good, I can't believe it. That's going to heighten the sensitivity. It's going to heighten the mood. And then you're going to go, boom, you're going to go. So you're like getting ready. You're like, no. Let me change the focus. Think about something else and just kind of go through the motions. Again, you're trying your best to last as long as you can. And I know it's not as enjoyable at first, but you're going to start to get in a good, a balance of this. You're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it that you can last longer and enjoy it the entire time. And she benefits as well. So these are just some of the things that have worked for me. Again, you want balance. You want to focus on this and that. Taking ProVanax definitely helps. It's something you don't want to necessarily, you can take about 2-3 hours before bed, sex, even half an hour before. It'll help. You got to up the dose if you're going to take it that quick. It definitely helps relax the body. All the different things I mentioned today. The benefit is if you're only lasting, let's say 2 minutes now, by doing each of these techniques, taking the ProVanax, maybe you last another 2 or 3 minutes, focusing on her back and forth, another 2-3 minutes, wearing a condom, masturbating, another 2-3 minutes. All these little things starts having an additive effect where before maybe you lasted only 2 minutes, now you can last 10 or 15. And like I said earlier, I can easily last 30 minutes these days, okay? Now, it's not me just pounding away for 30 minutes because that gets tiring and, I'm going to have a heart attack. But it is having sex and sexual act for 30 minutes. Me, her, doing all this stuff, then boom, 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 this and that, da-da-da-da. So that's the thing. Your goal is not to just go in, pound, have an orgasm, and leave, okay? Most women don't have orgasms through intercourse anyway, and I'm sure you already know that. If you don't know that, I need to make more videos about that then, okay? So again, focus on her breast, on her neck, speaking to her, looking at her, making eye contact, focus on the clitoris, okay? Lick, finger, do everything. Make her happy, and then you can do your thing. And again, this just takes practice, guys. Takes practice. Watch this video again. Watch it again, and practice. Watch it again and practice. Take the supplements. It will definitely help, all right? Anything that can give you that edge is good. Take all these different things I'm saying and just keep practicing and keep practicing. Also make sure, again, your hormones have to be optimal. If your testosterone is low, it's not good. If your estrogen is high, it's not good. If your cortisol levels are high, it's not good. And I got tons of videos and topics about all of this stuff. But just for now, just to get started, keeping it simple, take the ProVanax and take all the things I've done, practice, and let me know if this was helpful. If you're not sure about something, let me know what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, what triggers it, how long do you think you should last? Let me ask you that. I can do a video about that. Again, if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, okay? Because it's gonna help me and let me know what other topics. And if you've been watching my videos in the past, Dr. Sam Robbins, I'm sure you're already subscribing. If you aren't, please do so. And with that said, take a look underneath this video for the links I've mentioned in today's topic, as well as the next videos. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Wishing you a very happy and healthy day.